All right. We have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celine will be meeting for peace talks with the usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
What do we know about Duke Gaspard?
The man who would have been Emperor. He's Celine's cousin, and was first in line to inherit the throne when Emperor Florian died. Celine outmaneuvered him. She won over the Council of Heralds, who hold authority over title disputes. She became Empress, and he a general in the Imperial Army. He's well loved by the troops. He's also a Chevalier. Most of their number sided with him when he turned on the Empress.
Aren't the Chevaliers part of the army? Why would they follow the Duke?
Most Chevaliers are sworn to serve the crown, but that does not give them faith in the person wearing it. The Empress has tried to improve relations with Ferelden and Navarra. The Chevaliers see her as anti-military. They believe Gaspard could lead the Empire back to the glory of Draken's expansion years.
Who is this Ambassador Briala?
An ambassador in name only. She has organized the elves of Halam Sharal into an underground army. The Empress invited her to the peace talks in a bid to gain the elves' alliance in the war. That would be scandal enough, without the rumor that Briala is a jilted lover of Celine's. A personal grudge and a network of saboteurs at her command. Promising lead.
Wait, the elven leader is a jilted lover of the Empress.
It's not widely known. Just a rumor whispered among the palace servants a few years ago. If it's true and were to get out, the Empress and an elf. The scandal could destroy Celine's court. Even if a lie, Briala could use it to blackmail the Empress. She has some connection to the throne.
Tell me everything we know about the Empress.
Empress Celine is a renowned diplomat and reformer. She works tirelessly to secure peace for the Empire. Unfortunately, many Orlesians view peace as complacency. She has yet to name an heir, leaving the future of the Empire in doubt if anything happens to her. Especially when the next in line is her cousin Gaspard, who's made few friends on the Council of Heralds.
Celine is surrounded at all times by countless guards, courtiers, servants, and vassals. What better place for an assassin to hide than the Empress's own household?
How can Gaspard still be next in line while he wages war against his Empress?
The title Grand Duke indicates that he was a prince before the Empress took the throne.
Do we need to go to the peace talks? The Empress must have personal guards. We could just warn her she's in danger.
We've made the attempt, but...
It seems that our messages never reached her. Someone intercepted them.
It's better that we don't leave this to chance. If Orlais falls to Corypheus, no land is safe.
We shouldn't waste any time. Let's go to the Winter Palace.
The political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
Inquisitor Trevelyan, it is an honor to meet you at last. The rumors coming out of the Western Approach say you battled an army of demons. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
Exactly what would be required to get that Imperial support?
I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. Prepared to shock the Assembly by appearing as the guest of a hateful usurper, my lord? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
I can't imagine that crowd has seen anything better than us in their entire lives.
I knew we would get along famously, Inquisitor. As a friend, perhaps there is a matter you could undertake this evening. This elven woman, Briala, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
That sounds like something I should look into.
Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
The mage? No, there must be some mistake.
From the Circle of Ostwick, so they say.
Pardon me, my lord. You haven't seen a ring lying around, have you? It was a gift from the Countess Montbelliard, enchanted by the Fomari. I cannot go into the ball without it.
Is this ring particularly valuable?
Its worth in coin is not as important as its social value. It was a gift from a member of the Council of Heralds. If she finds out I lost it, she will never forgive me. Not even if I live to be 1,000 years old.
That's a terrible predicament.
If the Countess finds out, make her have mercy. Should you happen upon it, I beg you, let me know. Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Is this the ring you were looking for?
You are a treasure! I cannot believe you found it! You have saved me a lifetime of mortification. How can I thank you enough?
Does anyone have a report on the casualty? What is Lady Pentecost wearing? We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin us all.
mind. We don't wish to be disturbed.
Interesting.
Any word from the front lines?
My spies said the bodies were beyond counting.
Surely the Empress will put an end to the war tonight.
Pray, my friend. If the Maker does not hear us now, just pray.
Interesting.
Gaspar never struck me as pious. You must think he gains military advantage with the Inquisition.
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I must warn you before you go inside. How you speak to the court is a matter of life and death. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
I'll keep my guard up. Don't worry.
The game is like wicked grace played to the death. You must never reveal your cards. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be upon you. You are safer in the Fade with the Fear Demon.
Might be a good idea for the others to hear this warning. Cassandra is usually not the subtle or cautious type.
I'll have a few discreet words. Everything will be fine. Andraste, watch over us all.
Is that the Inquisitor?
A martyr? The Maker has an odd sense of humor.
Seriously, did you get a look at the steps? I think they're gilded. Seriously, did you get a look at the steps? I think they're gilded.
It will take some time to get our men into the palace. I'll alert you when we're ready.
The sooner we go in, the sooner we can get this over with.
I heard the Grand Duke invited the Inquisition here.
How could the Empress afford to renovate the palace with a war going on?
I heard that it wasn't renovations at all. The palace was damaged by Gaspar's catapults.
He fired on the Winter Palace? That's monstrous.
I had hoped to tour the Royal Wing Gardens again.
I have heard they are the finest in the Empire. It's such a pity the wing is sealed. I heard Celine was having the entire wing redecorated. But the timing is atrocious.
Why would she do such a thing now?
How has the... Interesting.
Boring.
If nothing else, the Inquisition back in Gaspar would make Celine nervous. You know what I
How can they call this a vestibule? It's a foyer.
Please, it's barely half the size of the foyer in the Imperial Palace.
The guest wing is not open to the public at the time.
Can Gaspar take the throne without the backing of the Council of Heralds?
Boring.
I can hardly believe Gaspar and Celine are in the same.
Grand Duchess Florida.
Good to know.
What is Gaspar up to? Wouldn't surprise me if it were.
Why are there so many elves here?
The Empress invited me. I wish there was more news coming from the convent.
Good news is becoming an increasingly rare commodity.
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lord Inquisitor Trevelyan of the Ostwick Circle of Magi. Vanquisher of the rebel mages of Ferelden, crusher of the vile apostates of the Mage Underground.
This guy writes better fiction than I do.
Champion of the Blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, Seeker, Cassandra, Allegra, Portia, Calogera, Philomena.
Get on with it.
Pantagast, 14th cousin to the King of Navarra, 9 times removed. Hero of Orlais. right hand of the divine. Renowned author, Cleric Dethras. Head of noble house Dethras, Desher of Kirkwall to the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Lord Dorian Pavus, member of the Circle of Arantium, son of Lord Magister Hallwood Pavus of Azariel. Sir Callan Stanton Rutherford of Hunleaf, commander of the forces of the Inquisition, former Knight Commander of Kirkwall. Lady Liliana, Nightingale of the Imperial Court, veteran of the Fifth Blight, Seneschal of the Inquisition, and left hand of the Divine. And Lady Josephine Charette Montillier of Antiva City, Ambassador of the Inquisition.
Cousin, my dear sister.
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celine. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
Inquisitor?
Lord Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter Palace. Allow us to present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been possible.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
I'm delighted to be here, Your Majesty.
We have heard much of your exploits, Inquisitor. They have made grand tales for long evenings. How do you find Halam Shiral?
I've never seen anything to equal the Winter Palace.
We hope you will find time to take in some of its beauties. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of the ballroom, Inquisitor. We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me, Yvette, how are Mama and Papa? Are they in good health? Do they want for anything?
Papa's perfectly happy in the studio. Mother is the same as always.
Meaning she's after you to do more work.
You always take her side.
I don't take her side. I happen to think, as she does, you might attend to more of the estate's duties. Also, do stop slouching.
Josephine! Oh, Josephine! Is this him?
Inquisitor, please allow me to present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriella Montillier.
Delighted to meet you, Lady Montillier.
Inquisitor, I've heard so much about you, but not as much as I want. Josephine writes, but she never tells me anything. Is it true? Rebel mages in Redcliffe were performing blood rites and orgies before you stopped them.
Where did you hear such nonsense?
Everyone in Antiva says so. Is it true?
Your story's a little more than wistful thinking, my lady.
Oh, how dull Redcliffe must have been then.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celine has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight?
Celine. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
Tell me about yourself, Lady Yvette. This is the first time I've encountered any of Josephine's family.
She would forget to mention the artists. I've been studying painting under Antiva's royal tutors. You should be proud, Josie. I'm going to be exhibiting my work next season in the city's biggest salon.
Have you actually sat down and finished the painting yet?
I must wait for my inspiration.
And I must wait for your tutor's beams.
Enjoying the ball?
I see many of.
The dancing is so dull, your worship. But the Empress's gallery is magnificent.
Yvette.
Sorry, Josie.
Go on, Josephine.
Half Royal must be empty. So many of the Empire's finest are in attendance. They've noticed the Empress paying you special attention, but they don't quite know how to take advantage of it yet. This uncertainty won't last long, I'm afraid.
This may be my only chance to hear about when Josephine was a girl.
Oh, yes. As she told you about when she was 10 and...
Yvette, stop.
Fine. What about when we were climbing the cliffs by the...
No.
She once told the Duke of...
Absolutely not.
She still plays with her doll collection when no one's looking.
Yvette! That's absurd. Absolutely preposterous.
I'll see you later.
Another time.
Can you believe the Inquisition filled its ranks with understates?
You just know that will end.
What were they doing in the Western approach? It's a waste. Laurent was the love of my life. Perhaps we can speak later, Inquisitor.
Can I get you a drink, Commander Cullen?
No, thank you. Inquisitor, did you need something? The sooner we track down this infiltrator, the better.
You have any advice?
Orlesian's social events don't fall within my area of expertise. There are a few here we can trust. Be careful.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
Gaspard's claim to the throne is fair. Orlais needs someone capable of responding to the crisis at hand. A military-minded leader seems the best option.
You've attracted a following. Who are all these people?
I don't know, but they won't leave me alone.
I take it you're not enjoying yourself.
At this point, the headache I'm developing is preferable to the company.
Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary?
Nothing that stands out. I doubt there's a single person here without ulterior motives.
We'll talk later.
I await your signal.
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will be with us. since
You must dance with me, Commander.
Are you happy to see me at all, Josie?
Not have been wise to attend this particular engagement, Yvette.
I didn't want
Have you heard from your nephew?
Not since his regiment joined the fight.
Good. I was hoping I would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
How can Celine openly keep an apostate in the Imperial Court?
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivian was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
You think she's controlling the minds of the court? That's powerful blood magic.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
This ball is a waste of time, like all Orlesian foolishness. Let's find the Venatori collaborator and get out of here.
Have you witnessed anything noteworthy?
Nothing yet. I will let you know.
You don't seem to care much for the ball.
Orlesians pretend their petty squabbles are a game. Yes, let us treat murder, corruption, and deceit as delightful amusements. How wonderful. We are here to save Empress Celine, and it galls me. Why does she merit our protection? The Empire would be better off without her. Gaspard is the leader Orlais needs in this crisis.
You support the civil war?
Of course not. Chaos is what Corypheus wants, and we must oppose him. Were it up to me, however, I would let Celine fall and Gaspard take the throne. He would see the true threat, not spend his time throwing balls and writing letters.
I don't suppose you'd like to dance, Lady Cassandra.
Now? This is hardly the time. We're here to find a killer, not dance.
Stay alert. We don't know where the enemy is hiding.
I'll be watching for trouble. The sooner we leave this place, the better.
Boring.
Any news of Paragon Branca?
Not since the king cut off her supply of castless. Ghastly business.
with us.
The package is in the guest wing. Upper room.
The one of the garden. Statuette.
Any word from our company?
Well, that's useful.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of Heralds now.
You should have considered that before threatening to burn them all in their homes.
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspard's vitriol.
I can't imagine Gaspard being vitriolic. What's the matter?
The Grand Duke bears a grudge against the Council for refusing him the crown. He's threatened death if they refuse him again, collectively and individually, along with their vassals. What backwater did you come from? Everyone knows that.
Gaspard is wasting his time.
I don't like that
Nothing he
Grand
does
Duke.
could win over
Nobody
the
should
Council
own
of
as many hunting dogs as he does.
You should have considered that before threatening
If I have to
burn
clean up
them all
another
in their-
Interesting.
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspard's vitriol.
Awfully selfish of this Philippe, running off to play and leaving you with all the work.
I've half a mind to inform the Dowager. That would teach him to shirk his duties to roll some elven maid. Tonight of all nights, leaving me to convey Gaspard's death threats to the Council. Wonderful timing, Philippe. Thank you for listening to me rant. You are too kind, Inquisitor.
I don't like that Grand Duke. Nobody should own as many hunting dogs as he does.
Maker, if I have to clean up another puddle...
You don't want to be here, stranger.
He hasn't made the pickup. It's been hours.
He went into the servants' wing. Nobody's come out of there all night.
I'll tell Briala we have a situation.
I don't like that Grand Duke. Nobody should own as many hunting dogs as he does.
Did you hear
If I have
what
to clean up
Gaspard
another
said
puddle.
to Duke Germain? His own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that panicked attaché roaming about?
Did I see you talking to Duke Cyril?
Well, well. What's this?
This way is closed. Please, use the main entrance to the ballroom.
My lord! My lord Inquisitor!
May we have a word? It is very important.
The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
Funny that she couldn't give me this message when we spoke.
Oh, she could not speak freely in front of the entire court, Inquisitor.
Empress Celine is eager to assist the Herald of Andraste in his holy endeavor.
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspard is defeated.
It's a generous offer.
The Empress believes wholeheartedly that the Inquisition is our best hope for peace in these difficult times.
She looks forward to cementing a formal alliance.
As soon as Gaspard is out of the way.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade, Inquisitor.
This is a private conversation.
This is all so familiar. I half expect my mother to materialize from the crowd and criticize my manners.
Is this how the elite of Tevinter carry on?
You could almost mistake this for a soiree in the Imperium. The same double-dealing, elegant poison canapes. It's lacking only a few sacrificial slaves and some blood magic. But the night is still young.
Have you seen anything I should know about?
So far, this seems like harmless political intrigue. A few murders arranged, some scandals contrived from nothing. Like a homecoming, honestly.
What if your mother were actually here? Where would we be then?
Short one mage after he's dragged out by his earlobe.
I'm having difficulty picturing that.
Picture me a young boy of 5 years, then. She certainly always has.
I appreciate that you were willing to come here.
And expose myself to all this exquisite finery and exotic wines? Such hardship.
Not everyone's likely to be friendly. That's all I meant.
It's true. You'd think I smelled of cabbages the way they wrinkle their noses. It's of no concern, but thank you.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois.
Just gossip.
Is that him? Is it true the Inquisitor was handed out of the Fate by Andraste? Is it true the Inquisitor was handed out of the Fate by Andraste?
You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and that elf woman here, the only one playing to win is Celine.
You only say that because you fancy the Empress's pet apostate. It sickens me to think of the chaos those Maleficarum are causing across the Empire.
Even you cannot deny that the Templars abandoned the faithful in their darkest hour. How can you condone that? They are the ones who should be brought to heel, if you ask me.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois.
Where has that servant gone? Elves, always shirking their duties. What is Lady Pentecost wearing?
There must be something here. I should get back to the ballroom.
What is Lady Pentecost wearing?
Gaspar is wasting his time.
Well, well, the Inquisitor. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. How curious.
I didn't know the Grand Duke was your nephew.
He's my brother's eldest boy. Always a difficult child, Gaspar. Never listened, never did what he was told. He was raised a prince. All his life we told him he would be emperor. It was his destiny, his duty. What else should he do with his life if not fight for his destiny?
Have you noticed anything strange this evening?
My niece Florian hasn't spoken to me all evening. That's not like her.
What can you tell me about the Civil War?
If you are hoping for insight, you've come to the wrong man. It's war. It is brutal, and terrible, and sometimes necessary. There's nothing more to say.
Another time, my lord.
Good to know.
Good evening, Inquisitor.
I don't like that Grand Duke. Nobody should own as many hunting dogs as he.
Does anyone have a report on casualties from the day?
Gaspar is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of Heralds now.
He should have considered that before.
That Weinstein is never coming out.
Did you hear what Gaspar said to you?
I am not talking to you until we get home.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council.
We need more servers in the ballroom. Where is everybody?
Well, well. What have we here? The leader of the new Inquisition, fabled herald of the faith. Delivered from the grasp of the Fade by the hand of blessed Andraste herself. What could bring such an exalted creature here to the Imperial Court, I wonder? Do even you know?
We may never know. Courtly intrigues and all that.
Such intrigues obscure much, but not all. I am Morrigan. Some call me advisor to Empress Celine on matters of the arcane. You have been very busy this evening, hunting in every dark corner of the palace. Perhaps you and I hunt the same prey.
I don't know. Do we?
You are being coy.
I'm being careful.
Not unwise, here of all places. Allow me to speak first, then. Recently I found and killed an unwelcome guest within these very halls. An agent of Tevinter. So I offer you this, Inquisitor. A key found on the Tevinter's body. Where it leads, I cannot say. Yet, if Celine is in danger, I cannot leave her side long enough to search. You can.
You left Celine alone. Is that wise?
I must return to her anon, but she is safe enough, for the moment. 'Twould be a great fool who strikes at her in public in front of all her court and the Imperial Guard.
What's your interest in protecting Empress Celine? Are you her bodyguard?
Do I seem a bodyguard to you? If anything were to happen to Celine, eyes would turn first to her occult advisor, even if they knew otherwise. There are sharks in the water, and I will not fall prey to them. Not now, not ever.
Why did you kill the agent? He might have had useful information.
I would not have slain the man on sight had he not attacked me first. Why? Undoubtedly, I caught him in an illicit act. I did not know from whence he came until after the battle, and regret only that I could not capture him alive. What intentions the Imperium has here, I suspect you know far better than I.
Briala's people are whispering about disappearances in the servants' quarters. This key may lead there.
The ambassador does have eyes and ears everywhere, does she not? Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound, and not all of them aligned with Tevinter. What comes next will be most exciting.
There's the Dowager. Don't make eye contact.
She wouldn't want to speak with a nobody like you anyway, cow.
Why would the Empress invite that elf woman?
The game, of course. Celine has something.
I've an idea, Josephine. You should invite all the families to Skywood this summer.
Inquisitor, to what do we owe this honor?
We will be happy to assist you if we can.
Her Imperial Majesty is unfortunately occupied at present.
I'd like to know more about the negotiations. seems strange to hold peace talks during a ball.
The nobility must do things very differently in Austria.
By Orlesian tradition, moments of great solemnity are celebrated with revels and feasts.
While joyous occasions are given time for reflection and contemplation.
We must never forget that life is both bitter and sweet.
The ball is an opportunity to celebrate life and hope for the future, while we mourn those killed in the war.
What can you tell me about the other parties involved in the talks?
Gaspard is a decorated general, much beloved by the Imperial Army, and a legend among chevaliers.
He is better suited to the battlefield than the throne, and he would gladly make his palace a war camp.
He's also fiendishly charming.
Lady Briella has great intentions to change the lives of the elves for the better.
Even if her plans could never work and would only provoke hate crimes against alienages.
She is an idealist, but her lack of patience could prove disastrous.
What is the Empress trying to accomplish with the negotiations?
Peace is her only objective, Inquisitor.
Gaspard and Briella are driven by personal ambitions, but those desires threaten the safety of all Orlesians.
The war must end tonight. We must conclude this to deal with the larger crisis.
If the evening ends favorably for the Empress, how does the Inquisition benefit?
Her Imperial Majesty brings the might of the Orlesian Empire with her friendship.
She is also a respected diplomat and world leader. She can forge alliances for you with Rivain, Antiva, the Anderfels.
And she throws the best parties.
My investigations turned up something interesting. Perhaps you could tell me something then. I'd like to know more about Empress Celine.
Her Majesty has held the throne since she was just 16 years old.
She is respected and beloved, not just in Orlais, but across Thedas.
She doesn't care much for liver, and she drinks her tea black.
We haven't been properly introduced.
How rude of us to forget.
My Lord Inquisitor, allow me to present Lady Couteau.
And Lady Colombe.
And of course, Lady Fleur. We are the Empress's ladies-in-waiting.
Good evening.
Until next time, Inquisitor.
Do take care.
Enjoy the masquerade.
Doesn't look like negotiations are going well.
I would love to hear about your time in cabinet. Another time, perhaps.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Inquisitor Trevelyan. Slumming even more than usual, I see. You haven't dazzled the court this evening, but at least you've avoided embarrassing yourself. Well done. What brings you to me?
I want to know more about the peace talks. What can you tell me about Celine and Gaspard?
Gaspard is a warmonger. He served in the war against Ferelden and fought a dozen skirmishes on the Navarran border. He's a simple man. Simple men aren't hard to manipulate. Celine is the voice of reason in the Empire. But reason is cautious. Reason looks for compromise. Reason doesn't choose radical change, however sorely it may be needed.
I want to know more about the peace talks. I had a question about you, Briella.
I'm an elf, Inquisitor. That should tell you everything you need to know about my life. I'm good at what I do. That's all that matters. I will help my people no matter the cost.
What's your story? How is an elf invited to the Empress's ball as an ambassador?
Empress Celine and I have history. There was a time when I put my spies at her disposal. She knows my qualifications. We had a falling out. Now we are negotiating to determine whether I return to her side in the war.
I'm surprised you'd admit that, considering the circumstances.
I know it's incriminating. Few harbor more resentment against Celine than I. But if she died after inviting me here, the court would certainly pin her death on me. An elf assassinating the Empress? Alienages across Orlais, across all Thedas, would be purged. That cannot happen.
We'll speak more later, Ambassador.
Another time, Inquisitor.
Doesn't
Do you
look
enjoy
like
music,
negotiations are going well.
Everyone enjoys.
Look at Lady Cambian's slippers. Trimmed with pearls. And emeralds. And those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. What a disaster.
There's a Tevinter assassin on the loose, and you're concerned about buckles on shoes.
Everyone needs a hobby. Besides, you can learn a great deal about a person from their clothing. Gold and jewels on a dancing slipper. A slipper is easily lost and finds itself in the dust and dirt. She is unconcerned with the possibility of losing the shoe or soiling it. A vulgar display of wealth. But Lady Cambian's family has recently lost most of its holdings. They have their title, but little else. So, how did Cambian acquire such a grand shoe, What has she done? Who has she bedded? These are all useful questions, no?
You're different here than in Skyhold. More approachable, perhaps?
This is Halam Shiral, Inquisitor. This is the Imperial Court. This is the beating heart of the Great Game. Of course, everyone is wearing a mask. I learned this very young. I was still a girl when I attended my first ball. All this, the smiles, the small talk, it is a dance. And like any dance, it can be learned. For some of us, it has become so familiar that the steps may be performed in our sleep.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
What we need most of all is a stable Orlais. Either Celine or Gaspard can give us that.
I found this out. I'm not sure of its value.
Very interesting. It may not help our investigation, but we can put it to use. A little more dirt like this, and we might have some leverage in the court. If you find more, let me know.
I should go. Be on your guard.
I always am.
I still remember the day they came to... Lord Inquisitor.
I'd like your opinion of this gathering, my lady.
It's doomed to fail, of course. Celine knows that. At least it should be amusing. We haven't had such a menagerie at court in living memory.
Have you noticed anything odd this evening?
Too few Imperial guards stand in attendance, my dear. A shame. They are so pleasantly decorative.
Good evening, my lady.
Where are Alban and Colette? Who cares? Is that Marquis Etienne? He's fiendishly handsome.
This could be worth checking out.
Someone will be held accountable for this.
Must be the elves Briala's people are looking for. This was no servant. What was he doing here?
Does this guy seem out of place to anyone else?
Is that the Chalon family crest? What have you been up to, Gaspard?
Time to have a word with the Duke.
No! No!
Venatori agents! That must be the Venatori leader. The Venatori were watching this approach. They're organized.
fancy meeting you here. Shouldn't you be dancing, Inquisitor? What will the nobility say?
Ambassador, we meet again.
Your reputation for getting results is well deserved. You cleaned this place out. Will take a month to get all the Tevinter blood off the marble. I came down to save or avenge my missing people. But you've beaten me to it. So, the Council of Herald's emissary in the courtyard. That's not your work, is it?
He was dead when I arrived.
I expected as much. You may have arrived with the Grand Duke, but you don't seem to be doing his dirty work. I knew he was smuggling his chevaliers. But killing a council emissary? Bringing Tevinter assassins into the palace? Those are desperate acts. Gaspard must be planning to strike tonight.
He can try, but I'll stop him.
I wish you luck. Better than luck? I wish you success. I misjudged you, Inquisitor. You might just be an ally worth having. What could you do with an army of elven spies at your disposal? You should think about it.
What do I have to give you in exchange for this army of spies?
A moment of consideration. I know which way the wind is blowing. I'd bet coin that you'll be part of the peace talks before the night is over. And if you happen to lean a little bit our way, it could prove advantageous to us both. Just a thought.
More politics and double-dealing. Is there anyone here who is not corrupt?
There's so much conniving and backstabbing here. Makes me homesick.
Thank you, Inquisitor.
We are not serving drinks. Bother someone else.
Interesting.
Is it true what they say? You're the Inquisitor, are you not? We heard stories of your accomplishments.
I'd wager I have better tales than anything you've heard.
I told you, Philippe.
Not everyone fights an archdemon and lives to tell. It's an inspiration.
I'm curious. What did you hear about the fight with the archdemon?
They say the army of the Inquisition fought a desperate stand at Haven against the forces of an old god. As the battle raged, you faced down evil incarnate. Spell against spell. Its forces had you trapped. And you cast down a mountain upon the archdemon and escaped.
Even if a tenth of that is true, it's a remarkable feat.
If you'd like, Commander Cullen could give you all the details of that battle. He's in the ballroom.
Really? But I shouldn't leave my post.
You'd only be gone a moment.
Philippe, the world is coming to an end. If we don't hear this story now, we'll never have a chance.
You're right. Thank you, Inquisitor. Let's go.
I should look around.
Inquisitor Trevelyan. We met briefly. I am Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon. Welcome to my party.
Is there something I can do for you, Your Grace?
Indeed you can. I believe tonight you and I are both concerned by the actions of a certain person. Come, dance with me. Spies will not hear us on the dance floor.
Very well. Shall we dance, Your Grace?
I'd be delighted. You are from the Free Marches, are you not? How much do you know about our little war?
My advisors keep me informed.
One would hope the Inquisition's leaders had a proper understanding of politics.
It took great effort to arrange tonight's negotiations. Yet one party would use this occasion for blackest treason. The security of the Empire is at stake. Neither one of us wishes to see it fall.
I think I can agree with that, yes.
Then you have lifted a terrible burden from my heart, Inquisitor. The world is filled with doubt and uncertainty. Fear rules more hearts than any empire. I know you arrived here as a guest of my brother Gaspard, and have been everywhere in the palace. You are a curiosity to many, Inquisitor, and a matter of concern to some.
Am I the curiosity or the concern to you, Your Grace?
A little of both, actually. This evening is of great importance, Inquisitor. I wonder what role you will play in it. Do you even yet know who is friend and who is foe? Who in the court can be trusted?
If I've learned anything, Your Grace, it is to put my trust in no one.
In the Winter Palace, everyone is alone. It cannot have escaped your notice that certain parties are engaged in dangerous machinations tonight.
I thought dangerous machinations were the national sport in Orlais.
You have little time. The attack will come soon. You must stop Gaspard before he strikes. In the Royal Wing Garden, you will find the captain of my brother's mercenaries. He knows all Gaspard's secrets. I'm sure you can persuade him to be forthcoming.
We'll see what the night has in store, won't we?
You'll be the talk of the court for months. We should take you dancing more often.
I'd happily do more dancing. Just not with Corypheus.
I promise not to invite him to your next ball.
Were you dancing with Duchess Floriane?
More importantly, what happened in the servants' quarters? I heard there was fighting.
I hope you have good news. It appears the peace talks are crumbling.
Morrigan helped me get into the servants' quarters where I found a group of Venatori and Gaspard's dagger.
The man would truly do anything to become Emperor.
Then, the attack on the Empress will happen tonight.
Warning Celine is pointless. She needs these talks to succeed, and to flee would admit defeat.
Then perhaps we should let her die.
I won't stand by and let her die.
Listen to me carefully, Inquisitor. What Corypheus wants is chaos. Even with Celine alive, that could still happen. To foil his plan, the Empire must remain strong. This evening, someone must emerge victorious.
And it doesn't need to be Celine. She's right.
Do you realize what you're suggesting, Leliana?
Sometimes the best path is not the easiest one.
You're asking me to decide what's best for Orlais.
More than that, whoever controls the Imperial throne will affect all of Thales.
You cannot stop Corypheus without a decision.
You must support someone, or all is lost.
Then we should support Celine. She is the rightful ruler. Why would we say otherwise?
Because she led Orlais to this point. I say Gaspard, provided his sister is wrong about him.
I would suggest Briala. She could bring true peace, not only to the Empire, but also to its elves.
This is, however, your decision, Inquisitor, not ours.
I can't decide this. Not yet.
You must. Even inaction is a decision, Inquisitor.
You could speak to Celine in the ballroom, but she won't act. Not without proof.
If Gaspard is guilty, he'll admit nothing. If he's innocent, he knows nothing. We need the truth.
What did Duchess Florian tell you?
She said Gaspard's mercenary captain is in the royal wing. That he knows about the assassination.
Which could be a trap.
Or a lead. Either way, you should search the private quarters in that wing for clues.
Then get me access. And in the meantime, get your soldiers into position.
At once. Be careful, Inquisitor.
We met briefly. I am Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon. Welcome to my party.
Why am I not...
This is Orlais, Inquisitor. Nothing happened. Come, dance with me. Spies will not hear us. You are from the Free Marches, are you not? How much do you know about our little war?
What do you think I ought to know?
My brother and my dear cousin have been at each other's throats for too long.
It took great effort to arrange tonight's negotiations. Yet one party would use this occasion for blackest treason. The security of the Empire is at stake. Neither one of us wishes to see it fall.
Do we both want that, Lady Flor?
I hope we are of one mind.
In times like these, it's hard to tell
I know you are a curiosity to many, Inquisitor, and a matter of concern to some. Do you even yet know who is friend and who is... It cannot have escaped your notice that certain parties are engaged in dangerous You have little time. The attack will come soon. You must stop Gaspard before he strikes. In the Royal Wing Garden, you will find the captain of my brother's mercenaries. He knows all Gaspard's secrets. I'm sure you can persuade him to be forthcoming.
We'll see what the night has in store, won't we?
You'll be the talk of the court for months. We should take you dancing. I hope you have good news. It appears the peace talks are crumbling.
Then perhaps we should let her die. Sometimes the best path...
This is, however, your...
I should look around.
My third husband, Pierre. Mistress Nightingale, what a pleasure to see you again.
So many crimes of fashion.
I found this out. I'm not sure of its value.
This is good work.
What is
bloody Pentecost wearing?
It's been too long since I've had any.
Has anyone ever told you that you have the most remarkable eyes?
Maximilian's sweat.
The Grace's Chamberlain has disappeared as usual.
Interesting. Good to know.
Are we going to sneak around to look through the Empress's unmentionables now? Just how drunk are you, boss?
Thank you.
I hope you're not disappointed I stole your dance partner.
No, not at all. No one's supposed to be here. Briala said... Oh, I shouldn't have trusted her.
Briala told you to come to this wing of the palace.
Not personally. The ambassador can't be seen talking to the servants. We get coded messages at certain locations, but the order came from her. She's been watching the Grand Duke all night. No surprise she wanted someone to search his sister's room.
Is there anyone else who knows the code and the drop location who could have written those orders?
I don't know. Any of us could do it, but... No. No one else would send me here. It had to be Briala.
So this room belongs to Grand Duchess Florianne?
It used to. This had been her private room in Halam Shiral since she was a child. But this part of the palace was damaged, and the royal family moved to the guest wing.
What were you trying to find in Florianne's old room?
The message didn't say. I should have known it was a setup.
This wing is sealed. How did you get in here?
Easy. The door was unlocked. One of the others probably handled it.
All sorts of people tonight are taking advantage of this wing being closed.
Briala probably knew it was dangerous and sent me anyway. One more embarrassing erased. I knew her. Before. When she was Celine's pet. Now she wants to play revolution, but I remember. She was sleeping with the Empress who purged our alienage.
Would you be willing to testify to that, if I asked?
Absolutely. If the Inquisition will protect me, I'll tell you everything I know about our ambassador.
Most Orlesians would say that's Celine's scandal, not Briala's.
Go to the ballroom. Find Commander Cullen. He'll keep you safe.
Thank you. Make her protect you, Inquisitor.
What happened here?
You painted Orlesian assholes! When I get out of this, I'll butcher you like the bitch you are!
Inquisitor, what a pleasure. I wasn't certain you'd attend. You're such a challenge to read. I had no idea if you'd taken my bait.
I fear I'm a bit busy at the moment if you were looking for a dance partner.
Yes, I see that. Such a pity you did not save one final dance for me. It was kind of you to walk into my trap so willingly. I was so tired of your meddling. Corypheus insisted that the Empress die tonight, and I would hate to disappoint him.
Why kill the Empress? What does Corypheus want to achieve?
Celine's death is a stepping stone on the path to a better world. Corypheus will enter the Black City and claim the godhood waiting for him. We will cast down your useless maker and usher in a united world, guided by the hand of an attentive god.
You're Orlesian royalty. Why would you help Corypheus attack your empire?
You think so small, Inquisitor. Why settle for an empire when Corypheus will remake the entire world? I admit, I will relish the look on Gaspar's face when he realizes I've outplayed him. He always was a sore loser.
What exactly is in this for you?
The world, of course. I'll deliver the entire south of Thedas, and Corypheus will save me. When he has ascended to godhood, I will rule all Thedas in his name.
At this point, I'd think disappointment was an old friend.
You poor deluded thing. You don't know half of what Samson and I have planned. And now I suppose you never will. In their darkest dreams, no one imagines I would assassinate Celine myself. All I need is to keep you out of the ballroom long enough to strike. A pity you'll miss the rest of the ball, Inquisitor. They'll be talking of it for years. Kill him, and bring me his marked hand. It will make a fine gift for the Master.
Justice tits, what was all that? Were those demons? There aren't any more of those blasted demons coming, right?
Good eye. Those were definitely demons.
Maker bless me. Demons! How could there be demons in the fucking Winter Palace? I knew Gaspard was a bastard, but I didn't think he'd feed me to fucking horrors over a damn bill.
Duke Gaspard lured you out here.
Well, his sister. But it had to come from him, didn't it? And all that garbage she was spewing doesn't mean anything. Gaspard had to be the mastermind.
You honestly believe you were captured, tied up, and thrown into a death trap because of a bill?
When you put it like that, it seems a bit odd. The Duke wanted to move on the palace tonight, but he didn't have enough fancy chevaliers. So he hired me and my men. He had to offer us triple our usual pay to come to Orlais. Stinking, fancy cheesemongers.
Want a new job? One that pays better? The Inquisition can always use a good mercenary company.
You hiring? I'm game. Anything's better than this bullshit. You want me to talk to the Empress, or the court, or sing a blasted song in a chantry? I'll do it.
Thank the Maker you're back. The Empress will begin her speech soon. What should we do?
The Grand Duchess is the assassin. Don't let her anywhere near the Empress.
Duchess? At once, Inquisitor.
Let all gathered attend. Her Imperial Majesty will now address the court.
Lords and ladies, as a nation, we mourn our sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, friends and lovers claimed by war. The sky is torn open, our divine is dead, and many fear the end of all things comes upon us. Orlais must stand as a bastion, a bulwark behind which all Thedas may take shelter. So has it stood for 1,000 years. So shall it ever stand. This would not have been possible without the efforts of many. Dear cousin, please step forward.
Grand Duchess, stand down!
Now! For Corypheus, kill them all!
people!
Yes, Inquisitor.
Beaten at every turn. You stole the moment of my triumph, just as you stole the demon army from Merimond. And now you've chased a defenseless woman into the garden. Are you proud of yourself?
We have the palace. Surrender, Your Grace. You don't have to die today.
Surrender? Now? Oh, you poor, deluded thing. The night is still young. All I need to recover is to kill you, Inquisitor. So good of you to attend my soirée.
Come back! You want to dance?
Your sister attempted regicide in front of the entire court, Gaspard.
You're the spy master. If anyone knew this atrocity was coming, it was you.
You don't deny your involvement.
I do deny it. I knew nothing of Florian's plans. But you knew it all and did nothing.
I don't know which is better. That you think I'm all-seeing, or that you're trying so hard to play innocent, and failing.
Enough! We will not bicker while Tevinter plots against our nation. For the safety of the Empire, I will have answers.
I wouldn't have caught Florian in time without Briala's help.
You were working together?
Of course.
Thanks to Briala, Gaspard's mercenary captain will testify that he hired men to infiltrate the palace.
Hired thugs? I didn't expect you to stoop so low, cousin.
Don't be naive, Celine. The only difference between a mercenary and a common soldier is a uniform.
Keep talking, Gaspard. Eventually, you'll convince somebody.
Here. I have the letter Gaspard penned to his general, ordering his men into position inside the palace.
Can you blame me? Considering what transpired, preparing to repel an attack was the course of wisdom.
And of course, he made death threats to the Council of Heralds. Briala found all of this out for your sake, Celine.
In light of overwhelming evidence, we have no choice but to declare you an enemy of the Empire. You are hereby sentenced to death.
You have enough proof to dissolve his support for the throne, Your Majesty. You don't need to take his life.
As a favor to you, Inquisitor, I will let him live. Gaspard, you are hereby banished from the Empire on pain of death.
Is that all? You're too kind, Celine.
Thank you, Inquisitor, for all your efforts tonight. I owe you my life, and Orlais owes you its future. You have done a service for the Empire never to be forgotten, my friend. This piece is your doing. You truly are the instrument of Andraste. Orlais will never forget your part in this, nor will I. Lords and ladies of the court, the civil war which has plagued us is at an end. The Orlesian Empire is whole again. Those who drove us into war for selfish gain have been dealt with as traitors. Gaspard de Chalon is guilty of treason. He is no longer our cousin and shall never again hold title or land in Orlais. We have lost enough. No more! Now, we can move forward to healing and restoration. In our hour of need, the Inquisition has faced these dangers beside us. It is the honor of Orlais to stand with Andraste's herald to end this crisis. And in ages to come, our children and grandchildren can say that we left them a brighter world. Will you address the court, my friend?
Our enemy is clever. He manipulated the highest-ranking members of the court. If we want victory, we will have to fight him in more ways than one.
We of the court must use our resources. Not every battle is won on the field. But that is tomorrow. Tonight, feast, my friends. Enjoy our victory. There will be many more to come.
The Orlesian nobility make drunken toasts to your victory, and yet you are not present to hear them. Do you tire so quickly of their congratulations, Inquisitor? 'Tis most fickle, after all your efforts on their behalf.
Everyone suddenly wants to talk to me. You, at least, I'm glad to see.
Then I have happy news, as you shall be seeing a great deal more of me. By imperial decree, I have been named liaison to the Inquisition. Celine wishes to offer you any and all aid, including mine. Congratulations.
I had no idea you were interested in joining the Inquisition.
The assignment has been given to me, regardless of my personal interest. Celine knows you face an opponent who wields great magical power, which is far more important than her own curiosity. You will require my knowledge if you are to defeat such magic. Regardless, Corypheus is a threat to Orlais and to myself. Thus, I am not opposed to the appointment.
What skills do you have that would benefit us?
I have knowledge which falls beyond the realm of most mages. I suspect this is also true of Corypheus, thus it behooves you to add to your arcane arsenal, yes? Mundane knowledge will not bring the rift in the sky to a close, after all.
When you say knowledge beyond the realm of most mages, do you mean blood magic?
I know many obscure, forgotten, and forbidden arts. Some of it you might consider blood magic, yes? Should thought of that frighten you, allow me to offer reassurance. Knowledge alone does no harm. What I possess, I place at your disposal, to make use of or ignore as you desire.
Welcome to the Inquisition, Morrigan.
A most gracious response. I shall meet you at Skyhold.
I can't believe you escaped before me. A fat count insisted on talking about soup for 15 minutes. We can return to Skyhold whenever you like. The sooner the better. Is something wrong?
Things went according to plan for once. I couldn't be happier.
It is a bit of a surprise, isn't it? We will need to put the soldiers at Skyhold on alert. Better to be safe.
Wait. There is one thing we must do before we go. May I have this dance, Lady Cassandra?
A dance? After all we've been through tonight?
Can you think of a better way to celebrate?
I suppose this isn't terrible.
The matter is urgent, Lady Josephine.
I am well aware of that, revered mother.
We will need them to return to Val Royeaux as soon as possible. There are ceremonies, ordinations. Maker's mercy.
That's quite impossible at the moment. However, I will see to this matter as soon as possible.
My Lord Inquisitor. Please, may I have a word with you?
How may I assist you, revered mother?
With the political turmoil put to rest, our minds turn to a single question. The next Divine. We cannot answer it without the left and right hands of Divine Justinia V.
I have already told you, revered mother. Lady Leliana and Seeker Cassandra cannot be spared from their duties.
But surely with the support of the Empire, the Inquisition will not be harmed by the loss of just 2 souls.
Why do you need Liliana and Cassandra?
They were Her Holiness's most trusted advisors. They represent her legacy, her hopes for peace in Thedas. They could rally the Grand Clerics to follow as no candidate from the clergy has been able to.
Are the Grand Clerics truly unable to elect a Divine?
Everyone with the political support to succeed Justinia perished alongside her. Those who remain are unable to gather the majority of votes from the conclave of Grand Clerics. They have been deadlocked for too long. Lady Liliana and Seeker Cassandra were Justinia's most trusted friends and advisors. Our late Divine is still held in high esteem. To honor her, the Grand Clerics might support one of them as successor.
How long does the Chantry need them?
Several months, at least. If one of them is crowned Divine, she would not be returning to the Inquisition.
These aren't just any two people. They're key members of the Inquisition.
For the sake of Thedas, we must ask you to make this sacrifice.
This will have to be settled later. The Inquisitor has only just returned and has important business to attend to. You must excuse us, revered mother. Don't let them detract from your victory at Alam-Shiral. We've beaten his wardens and stopped his intrigues. Soon, Corypheus will have no place to hide. Cullen is hoping to press our advantage. We'll plan our next attack when you're ready.
I need to have a few words with my publisher. The first one will be you, and the second one will be Bastard. They've claimed for years my crime serials don't sell in Orlais. So why is the Council of Heralds asking me for autographs? Sorry, distracted. Anyway, you need something?
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations, the machinations, betrayals. After our time in Halam-Shiral, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
I'm pleased you had a good time.
Political gambits, broken promises, half-truths. It is a palace full of motivation, and motivation is where great things happen. In any event, Celine should now be a steadfast ally. Especially after helping her neutralize Briala.
Briala brought it on herself, Solus. I did what had to be done.
All right. Why would I disapprove of... Oh, because we're both elves. I'm sorry, I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
Nor should you. You're not defined by the shape of your ears. They're not your people.
No, they are not. I joined the Inquisition to save the world. Regardless of who my people are, this was the best way to help them. As for the elves of Orlais, Briala did what she could. She was an admirable woman, even if her gambit failed.
Even if we couldn't help Briala, I hope we can make life better for Orlesian elves.
Stop Corypheus. That will do for a start. It speaks well of you to feel for the oppressed. Help them for that. Know them for what they are, instead of just seeing a pair of pointed ears.
To dance? So soon, your grace? She's up on the wall!
Your sister attempted regicide in front of the entire court, Gaspard.
You're the spy master. If anyone knew this atrocity was coming, it was you.
You don't deny your involvement.
I do deny it. I knew nothing of Florian's plans. But you knew it all and did nothing.
I don't know which is better. That you think I'm all-seeing, or that you're trying so hard to play innocent?
Enough. We will not bicker while Tevinter plots against our nation. For the safety of the Empire.
Of course. Keep talking, Gaspard.
Gaspard,
You are hereby sentenced to death.
I think Ambassador Briala deserves some reward for uncovering all this.
For this service to the Empire, Briala, your previous treachery will be pardoned. But you will have to live in exile.
You're too kind.
Thank you, Inquisitor, for all your efforts tonight. I owe you my life, and Orlais owes you its future. You have done a service for the Empire never to be forgotten, my friend. This piece... Will you address the court, my friend?
Do you tire so... Celine wishes to offer you any... Regardless, Carif... Mundane. Knowledge alone.
Is something wrong? We will need to put the soldiers at Skyhold on alert. Better to be safe.
The matter is urgent. Please, may I have a word with you? But surely with the support of... They could rally the Grand Cleric. Our late... Several months, at least. If one of them is crowned... We...
I need to have a few words with my publisher. The first one, the second one will be Bastard. They've claimed for years my crime serials don't sell in Orlais. So why is the Council of Heralds asking me for autographs? Sorry, distracted. Anyway, you need something?
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations, the machinations, betrayals. After our time in Halam Shiral, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
I'm pleased you had a good time.
Political gambits, broken promises, half-truths. It is a palace full of motivation, and motivation is where great things happen. In any event, Celine should now be a steadfast ally, especially after helping her neutralize Briala.
Am I sensing concern over how we dealt with Briala?
No. Why would I disapprove of... Oh, because we're both elves. I'm sorry, I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
Nor should you. You're not defined by the shape of your ears. They're not your people.
No, they are not. I joined the Inquisition to save the world. Regardless of who my people are, this was the best way to help them. As for the elves of Orlais, Briala did what she could. She was an admirable woman, even if her gambit failed.
Even if we couldn't help Briala, I hope we can make life better for Orlesian elves.
Stop Corypheus. That will do for a start. It speaks well of you to feel for the oppressed. Help them for that. Know them for what they are, instead of just seeing a pair of pointed ears. Good afternoon.
We'll talk...
Goodbye.
marvelous business, the Winter Palace. You saved an empress, and now she's eating out of your hand. Perfect mental image. All this dancing, politics, and murder makes me a bit homesick.
That's something you actually miss.
Who wouldn't? All the drama, the scandal, the petty maneuverings. Back home, we engage in social affairs with the grim intensity of war. When blood is spilled, the battle is won. Less fun when you're the target, but to watch. My. Yes. I hope you tried the ham they were serving, by the way. Tasted of despair. It's fascinating.
I should go.
You know, Rob?
My dear, I'm afraid I must ask you for help. There is an alchemical formula that I must complete, but I have been unable to obtain a critical ingredient. The heart of a snowy wyvern. I had arranged to obtain one, but the chevaliers working with me were killed in the Civil War.
If I'm going to hunt down a snowy wyvern, I need you to tell me everything you know about it.
They're quite rare and exceedingly dangerous. Their venom is the most potent of any wyvern. Ordinary hunters would not make the attempt. The risk is too great. You, my dear, would certainly be an equal to this monster.
I didn't know you were an alchemist, Vivian. What exactly is this project you're working on?
It is a special request from a member of the Council of Heralds. I am still the Imperial Court Enchanter, after all. The matter is private. That is all there is to say.
You want me to risk my life to get this thing for you, but won't tell me what it's for.
My dear, it is hardly proper for me to blab the secrets of those who put trust in my discretion. I would do no less for you, after all.
I'm not a hunter. Why do you think I can help?
This beast is not hunted for sport, as other wyverns sometimes are. It is far more deadly. In the past, chevaliers have been dispatched to either kill the creatures or drive them away from villages. Since my chevaliers have fallen to political conflict, I find myself in need of someone with a martial aptitude.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you, my dear. I would be most grateful. I shall give the location of its lair to Cullen. Remember, my dear, I must have its heart, or the potion will not work. I eagerly await your success.
Is this a youth serum? I've never seen alchemy this complex. Where did she get it?
So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor. I never thought the idea would gain momentum. Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture...
Is becoming divine something you really want?
When Justinia was alive, I would have laughed at anyone who even suggested that I could be her successor. Things have changed. Still, I don't know. Restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
No one would fault you for abandoning ship, you know.
Out of the ship, and straight into the sea. You think Thedas hates mages now? If the Chantry falls, don't you think the people will blame magic? Look at all that's happened. Kirkwall's Chantry, the war, the breach. Mages are always involved. Without the Chantry to guide, that hatred will spiral out of control.
It was the Chantry that taught people hate and fear.
If the Chantry led them to this place, it can lead them out of it. The people are sheep, Inquisitor. They need to follow. But this is a discussion for later. If Corypheus wins, finding a new divine will be the least of our problems. A message from Divine Justinia.
Dead people usually don't send messages.
And I see you feel it necessary to inform me of this. This message was written months, perhaps even years ago, to be delivered to me if she died. I've heard of such contingency plans. A sudden death often leaves loose ends. I'm to go to Valence, a small village on the waking sea. There is something hidden there.
Do you know what you're looking for?
The Divine was a powerful woman who used her position to obtain all sorts of things. Whatever she hid in Valence would very likely benefit the Inquisition and must be kept from falling into the wrong hands. If I'm lucky, she will have instructions for me.
You take your instructions from me. What sort of help can a dead divine give you?
I don't know. Perhaps something to do with the Chantry. Or it could be personal. She guided me for many years, Inquisitor, as a divine and as a friend. There are days when I still look to her for advice, only to remember that I am alone.
Why hide things in Valence? What's so special about it?
Justinia was revered mother at the Chantry there for many years before she became the Divine. It is a place that holds great meaning for her.
I'll help in whatever way I can.
Wonderful. I was hoping you would agree to come with me to Valence. One more thing. If what is hidden in Valence is as valuable as I think, we're not going to be the only ones looking for it. I shall meet you at the Chantry in Valence. Try not to delay. I didn't get the chance to say so earlier, but welcome back to Skyhold. After a terrible journey through the Fade, it must feel good to stand on solid ground again, no?
I'm thankful to be back. No one should enter the Fade.
And you've done it twice now. Shall I count you fortunate or unfortunate?
I'll leave you to your work.
Here we are again. As you... Good afternoon.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
I can spare some time. What do you need?
Well spent. We look like a capital now.
Nearly. And it's ready. First, this wasn't my idea. It is an issue born of titles and heir apparency and... Halam Shiral is having difficulty freeing trade routes formerly controlled by Duchess Florian. Had she been tried, her assets would be forfeit and considerable bureaucracy avoided. So they ask that we judge her.
There is worth and weight in every judgment, no matter how unusual.
That was the time allotted for rebuttal. Her crimes negated any claim to... Forgive me, there is an odor.
Grand Duchess Florian de Chalon, guilty. Your claims are forfeit. I assume, Josephine, this is enough.
Quite, Inquisitor. And again, my apologies. How bracing to be in the thick of the game again. The last time I was at Al-Shiral was Countess Letienne's wedding. There were a dozen affairs, 5 secret alliances, and a duel between 2 chevaliers over the vintage of an Antivan port. But until the Duchess was en masse, I've never seen the Winter Palace in shock.
The nobility needed a shock. Corypheus played them all for fools.
I agree completely. The game's become increasingly insular in the past few years. Corypheus skillfully took advantage. It's disturbing so few people in the Orlesian court were aware of the Duchess's machinations.
The Empress realized she was in danger.
She's always in danger. Those loyal to her should have practiced more vigilance. But let's not lose sight of victory. Your actions at the ball have secured us allies and favors alike.
Playing the game was thrilling. We did just make history.
Indeed. Tales of this affair have begun circulating in Val Royeaux. Although I do wish Varric would show a bit more restraint in his accounts of the evening. I was hoping you'd be by. We've received letters from Archon Redanus of Tevinter and King Marcus of Nevara. For both monarchs to come to us is nearly unheard of.
And the Inquisition's deeds have won their respect.
They'd never have contacted us otherwise. Archon Redanus requests that the Inquisition, as a neutral party, destroy a Venatori cult on the Nevaran-Tevinter border. King Marcus asks the same, but demands we pledge allegiance to Nevara instead of Tevinter.
I actually have relatives in Navarra. If you reason with the Archon, the Trevellians can persuade King Marcus we should help both countries.
Letting the Inquisition curry favor with both Tevinter and Nevara. Most ideal.
It's time to plan our next attack. What's the state of the Inquisition?
We're well loved in Orlais. Say the words and Empress Celine will send her support.
And your actions at Adamant denied Corypheus his army of pet demons. With Orlais' support, our numbers match his. Corypheus's followers must be panicking.
My agents agree. Our victories have shaken his disciples.
We've beaten their god twice over. Corypheus must be livid. Where is he now?
After you dealt with the Duchess, Corypheus uprooted his major strongholds. He's moving south to the Arbor Wilds. His army clearly wasn't prepared to flee. Our victories have them on the defensive.
Good of Corypheus to make it easy to find him. If he's hiding in the Arbor Wilds, that's where we finish him.
But what is Corypheus doing in such a remote area? His people have been ransacking elven ruins since Haven. We believe he seeks more. What he hopes to find, however, continues to elude us.
Which should surprise no one. Fortunately, I can assist.
You have my attention, Lady Morrigan.
What Corypheus seeks in those Forgotten Woods is as ancient as it is dangerous.
Which is?
Is best if I show you. This is an Illuvian, an elven artifact from a time long before their empire was lost to human greed. I restored this one at great cost, but another lies within the Arbor Wilds. That is what Corypheus seeks.
It's beautiful in its way.
I found legends of an elven temple within the Arbor Wilds. Untouched. It proved too dangerous to approach, and thus I turned elsewhere to find my prize. If Corypheus has turned southward, he could succeed where I failed. The Illuvian would be his.
What does it do?
A more appropriate question would be, where does it lead? If this place once had a name, it has long been lost. I call it the Crossroads, a place where all Illuvians join, wherever they might be.
A useful trick.
For one who knows the way, certainly. The ancient elves left no roads, only ruins hidden in far-flung corners. This is how they traveled between them. As you can see, most of the mirrors are dark, broken, corrupted, or unusable. As for the rest, a few can be opened from this side, but only a few.
How did you find out about this place?
My travels have led me to many strange destinations, Inquisitor. Once, they led me here. It offered sanctuary.
Sanctuary?
Not all the mirrors lead back to our world. The ancients were nothing if not resourceful.
If they don't lead back to our world, then...
Places between, like this one. I can describe it no better. For a time, I had a respite with the man I loved. For a time, I had a safe place to raise my son. But only for a time. One cannot remain in between forever.
What do you mean, a few can be opened from this side?
Some of the Illuvians have been left unlocked, like doors accidentally left ajar. All others are closed. They can be opened only from beyond.
Opened how?
With a key.
I suppose you have such a key?
The key can be many things. Each Illuvian is different. I have knowledge as well as power. Often that is enough.
Corypheus wants to come here.
This is not the Fade, but it is very close. Someone with enough power could tear down the ancient barriers.
And enter the Fade in the flesh, like Corypheus wanted to do with the Anchor.
He learned of the Alluvian in the Arbor Wilds as I did. He marshals the last of his forces to reach it. You have made Corypheus desperate, Inquisitor. We must work together to stop him, and soon.
A pleasure.
What do the people...
There's scarcely a noble house that hasn't openly pledged its support to us. Goodbye. Inquisitor.
With rifts contained in the area, we can send in smaller groups to offer relief.
I agree. Are you well?
A headache, nothing more.
At your service.
I should go.
First the Templars, now the Grey Wardens. Both devoted their lives to fighting evil. Now they serve it.
If I was possessed by a demon, would you?
I would rather not consider it.
May I ask you something?
Of course.
If you don't mind my asking, the hero of Ferelden was a Circle mage. Did you know him?
I attended his harrowing, actually. He was a talented mage. Considering he brought an end to the Blight, that goes without saying.
The Inquisition won't last forever. What will you do when this is over?
To be honest, I hadn't given it much thought until recently. I'm not used to having so many possibilities.
Do you think Templars should cease to exist?
No. I may have chosen to leave that life, but I respect those who remain. Magic ungoverned could tear the world apart. It's doing so now. Templars are trained and able to confront such dangers.
You still regret the man you became after leaving Ferelden?
After the Ferelden Circle, I thought all mages were like the ones there. Knight Commander Meredith's methods were harsh, but they kept people safe.
You've said Meredith was unstable.
She was my Knight Commander. I had no reason to distrust her. She wasn't wrong about the Blood Mages in Kirkwall. Meredith encouraged my anger towards the mages. There was only so far I would go, and she knew that too. I was her second in command. She kept decisions from me, those I would question. I believed she was serving the city. I never thought to question her, not until it was too late.
You can't control everything. You stood up to her in the end.
If I hadn't, would I be like her now? I wanted mages locked away as much as she did. I trusted they were treated reasonably well, but I should have done more. I should have looked into it. It's not yet enough. The Inquisition is my chance to atone. I will see it through.
You've mentioned siblings. With everything that's happening, do you know if they're all right?
I've received word from my eldest sister. She was always good at tracking me down. South Reach has experienced the same chaos as everywhere else. My family is fine. Pray they remain so.
Your sister tracked you down. She didn't know where you were.
I let her know I was in Haven. She assumed I survived. It's not the first time. I may have neglected to tell her when I was transferred to Kirkwall.
Why?
I wasn't in a good state. I wanted only to leave. I received an angry letter about my disappearance 2 years later. For all her reprimands, it was a relief to hear from someone who knew me before the Blight.
That's all I wanted to know.
Should you...
Stop following me.
It's you. Your worship. I'm serving now. In a different way.
Inquisitor.
Want a drink? I've a hankering for company. When I was a boy, there were these urchins who roamed the streets near my father's house. One day, they found a dog. A wretched little thing. It came to them for food. They caught it, tied a rope around its neck, and strung it up. Do you know what I did?
You stopped them? Cut the dog down?
I did nothing. Not a damn thing. It was crying. I saw the kicking legs, the neck straining and twisting. And I turned around, went inside, and closed the door. I could have told my father, or alerted someone. I didn't. I just pretended it wasn't happening.
You said you were just a boy.
I was old enough to know the dog was suffering and that it was wrong. I may as well have tied the noose myself. We could make the world better. It's just easier to shut our eyes.
Nothing worth doing is easy.
Look at you. You would have done the right thing. We're lucky there are people like you in the world. There's always some dog out there. Some fucking mongrel that doesn't know how to stay away.
You know I've got no problem with Orlesians, but Halam Sharal was a mess. At least under the Qun, you don't get everyone tripping on each other's dicks while the country goes to crap.
The politicking we saw at Halam Shiral might seem pointless, but it's the beating heart of the Empire. The winner of the game is the one who best builds alliances, and controls what's discussed and what's decided.
So it rewards manipulation, instead of rewarding the ability to get stuff done. I don't know. The Qun isn't perfect, but it doesn't care what any single person wants. Orlais is full of people who care about nothing else. Pleasure as always, boss.
See you later.
Nice.
One for the Empress, for Gaspar, Brianna, the Duchess, and Christopher. Right in the dangle bag.
Well, remind me to stay on your good side.
Don't worry, you're sparkling compared to that lot. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right, so long as there's a butt for the throne? A pretty one, sure. But how many lives are worth one Empress's arse? Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
We decided the course of a nation. I think it was worthwhile.
Right, Orlais will never be the same. Except for everything they say and do. Ugh, you know the most important thing I got out of all of that mess? The one thing. Don't sleep with Empresses. That's what that was all about. That, and Briala being an idiot. The whole thing would have gone different if that little piss-up wasn't in the middle.
That was a mistake on their part. It made everything worse.
Wrong way around, Inquisitor. It started worse. Lots of people died before there was a hole in the sky. That's who you're saving. If you get a chance, maybe remind them not to be idiots. Hey you have time? It's not a question, let's go. I've got something I want to do for you. Just come. You won't need your gear and stuff. I bet, yeah. Come on, let's do it.
We're eating on a roof.
They're horrible, right? And raisins, ugh. I friggin' still hate cookies.
No. It's just that this is all a little confusing.
I got caught stealing when I was little, yeah? You get alienage or worse for that, but the Lady Emerald took me in. She was sick and couldn't have children. I had no parents. It worked out. Anyway, she gets a year sicker, so I ask her about cookies. Because mums make cookies. I can pass that down or something. Turns out, she couldn't cook. She missed that talk with her mom. The ones she made, she bought and pretended. Ah, right. Well, no, she was a bitch. She hid buying them by keeping me away from the baker. She did that by lying that he didn't like me, didn't like elves. She let me hate so she could protect her pride. I hated him so much, and I hated... Well, she died. And I hate pride. Pride cookies. But this Inquisition thing is working out, so I figured I could make some Inquisition cookies? Because then I could like them again. Oh, it's stupid.
I don't understand. This Lady Emerald was just trying to be good to you.
She hurt people.
It was just cookies.
It was not just cookies. Lie to herself, fair play, only hurts her. But she made me think there was something wrong with me. And the baker? I made his life shit. Why not? It seemed like he deserved it. I mean, if you don't give a child a cookie because of appearances, you're a monster. Stupid pride whore noble. I know, I said it was stupid. That's why I want to get rid of it. I want to make better cookies.
You know what? That would be great.
See, I knew. Wait, really? Because it seemed friggin' daft every step to me. Suppose it's not really about them. I hate learning lessons. Makes my stomach hurt. Anyway, I'll throw this rubbish away. Next time will be better, yeah?
Sarah, anytime. Can we get off the roof now?
Oh, yes, please. Smells like bird and dank. This part, not a good idea. Thanks, yeah. Feels good, this.
I'm running drills, they're drinking, and paid them.
Love seeing you, yeah?
I'd like to know more about you, now that you're comfortable.
Suppose. It's embarrassing enough now, may as well.
Anything more to say about where you came from, aside from hating cookies there?
Denerim, mostly. Before running into another Jenny. He was fun. Had weird friends, though. I think some of them were a lot more serious about being serious. Got some of them killed. I suppose they were like family. Better than Lady Emerald ever was. You know why? They didn't give two squirts about who or what you were. It was all what you did.
So is that who showed you how to fight? Gave you your skills?
Nobody gave me anything except a chance. And maybe some lessons to start, but mostly just the chance. I took that and ran.
So where are the rest of them?
All over. Or they stopped to let new people go all over. Some get rich and stop playing so they can do good things with it. One or two don't. Eventually, someone asks for a favor against them. So don't get like that, you hear?
Denerim is a long way from Orlais. How'd you get there?
By Stinky Horse?
Sarah.
Denerim wasn't much fun after the Blight. Everyone trying to recover, you even feel bad for the nobles. But Val Royeaux, that's a fat city full of fat heads. They just don't know when to stop. You saw it. Orlais is rich and stupid. Ripe for the pickings.
Do you remember your actual family at all? Your parents?
Well, there is the amulet I had as an orphan that has a missing piece. And look at your face. You believe me? No, still no parents. I remember an alienage with arseholes and hating that stupid tree. The one elves always have. Of all the things to pray at, they could at least pick one with apples.
It's nice to see this side of you. Did you trust me?
Don't you go blabbing around, yeah? Because I'll have a big, trusting foot up your pucker.
I think that after our rooftop chat, I get why you're not like other elves.
Well, don't. How about we dig into what you are? Or what you're supposed to be? Are you the humanist human? Can someone point and say, that's what they are? Because I'm just me, and I couldn't give a fig. All right.
We should all be examples of our peoples, and understand how others will judge us.
Right, well, good on you. Have fun. Maybe kill all elves. All humans kill all elves. Heard that once. From an example.
We'll talk later.
If you say so.
Welcome back. I didn't understand the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they said what they wanted.
Orlesian nobles see politics as a great competition.
Yes, but none of them ever win.
I'll talk to you later.
She's still behind the curtains in the reading room, watching the blood pool on the floor.
Will you not consider it, Lady Cassandra? The clerics are still sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree? I've heard enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
Talk to her, your worship.
Is there a problem? It seems like she's bothering you.
Mother Giselle is kind, and she means well. So, yes, she was. I assume you've heard that Leliana and I are both candidates to be the next Divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus, everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
How can you and Leliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amar III was sister to the Emperor, and Galatea a commoner. Leliana and I were, at least, part of the Chantry hierarchy. It would be accepted.
If you don't want it, then tell them so.
Surely it was never meant to be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars, this cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
I'm surprised to hear you, of all people, say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes? In all my years as a Seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
The Chantry has failed, Cassandra.
I wonder if the legions of faithful throughout Thedas would agree with you. Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a Chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
You're not the only candidate. What about Leliana?
Leliana says she wishes to follow Justinia's legacy. But she and I remember a different person. Justinia knew her fellow clerics and the people would only accept so much change. Leliana would cast it all aside and start over, I think. And that would be chaos for us all.
What would you change about the Chantry?
The Circle of Magi has its place, but it needs reform. Let the mages govern themselves with our help. Let the Templars stand not as the jailers of mages, but as protectors of the innocent. We must be vigilant, but we must also be compassionate to all peoples of Thedas, human or no. That is what I would change.
Your determination is admirable.
Some men would call it an unattractive trait.
I'm not those men.
Truer words have not been spoken.
Who's using flattery now? We have more important things to worry about right now.
One day we must turn our thoughts to what comes after.
But that's not today.
I suppose that is true. I suppose I should not be so concerned. The clerics speak my name for now, nothing more. For now, restoring order and stopping Corypheus remain our priority. It's always wonderful to speak with you.
So you're a candidate for Divine now?
So I am informed.
Is that something you actually want?
Why should what I want matter?
Why shouldn't it matter? Don't you have the right to be happy?
It is very simple. The Chantry needs to survive. To do that, it must change. I have never believed in asking another to do what you are unwilling to do yourself. So I look upon this as an opportunity. I owe it to myself and all of Thedas to seek the Sunburst throne.
There are other ways you can change things.
Perhaps. I may not have a choice in the matter if the Chantry clerics pick another. Another time, then.
Right. Everything looks in order? I ran it. I didn't write it. Oh, Bells, it's you. Morris. Sir Morris, I suppose. I am serving as quartermaster for Skyhold and its arriving throngs. Stores are growing, and so long as we have fair coin to restock, you and yours will be well served.
The previous quartermaster survived Haven. Where is she?
She had views. Has views. Perfectly legitimate ones if you share them, Inquisitor. I believe it was felt that your quartermaster should be more palatable now that the Inquisition is in Orlais. She continues to serve, just not at the fore.
There are problems coming out of Halam Shiral.
There are always problems from Halam Shiral. We've lost a few contracts, but more than made up for it. Although, if a few commendations were given, it might retie some severed threads. I couldn't suggest how. That is better decided at your war table, and I'm not going near that thing.
What makes you ideal for this position? It's an important one.
My family has ties to several freehold militias, as well as cousins acting as officers in Ferelden and Orlais.
And your qualifications?
My family holds treaties with 3 new money Tevinter houses, and a rare Orzuma contract with a Paragon namesake.
And your qualifications?
To be honest, your worship, that was my question. I am the nexus of a dozen threads tied by others, designed to cast the widest and most appealing resource net. But I will rise to the occasion. Skyhold will want for nothing. I swear it.
How's it going? Do we have what we need?
With Skyhold shining like a beacon? You name it, it's here or on the way. I've wrung out the slackers, given them what for. I think I like this job.
As you were.
We are here for you, Inquisitor. Of course. Another time.
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor.
Might be something here. Better take a closer look.
The Spy Master has confirmed it. Blackwall is gone.
Track him down. He's needed here.
Sister Leliana had us search the Warden's quarters. Not much to find, except this. It was missing from last week's reports. I don't know what Blackwall's interest in this particular matter is, but it could be a good place to start.
Inquisitor.
There is a problem that needs your attention, Inquisitor.
You're the Inquisitor. Mother never told me the Inquisitor was a mage.
That's not such a terrible thing, is it?
No, it would be worse. If you couldn't touch magic at all. Like being blind.
Kieran, are you bothering the Inquisitor?
Of course not. Did you see what's on his hand, Mother?
I did see. 'Tis time to return to your studies, little man. My son. Never where you expect him to be, naturally.
I didn't know you had a son.
Why would you? I take great pains to not let my own reputation affect him in any way. To most in the Imperial Court, he's simply a quiet and well-spoken lad. Perhaps the heir of some distant family. But he goes where I go. Worry not, Inquisitor. Kieran is a curious boy, but seldom troublesome.
Will his father be joining us as well?
'Twould be most unlikely. His father helped raise Kieran for a time, but events have conspired to take him elsewhere. So 'tis but the two of us, Inquisitor. Your fortress is a large place, and you will scarce notice our presence.
He seems like a fine young man.
But not the sort one might expect a woman like me to raise. No son of mine would be raised in a marsh, bereft of contact with the outside world. His future will be difficult enough without my adding to his burden. To think, until recently, this place stood decrepit, occupied only by the desperate and the lost. Now it is party to events that threaten to shake the world. I wonder if it is pleased.
It sounds like you've heard of Skyhold before.
This fortress was built upon the remains of a site holy to the ancient elves. They called it Tara Salan, the place where the sky is kept. It is said that from here, they reached up to the heavens to bring them down to rest. They abandoned it, as did the humans who came after them. Bones laid upon bones, silent until your arrival.
I like this place. I've made it mine.
The magic in this place has seeped into the stones, protecting it from darkness. Those who let it fall to ruin did not know what they possessed. You, I think, shall do it justice. You were kind to welcome my aid, Inquisitor, even knowing as little of me as you do. I will do my best to aid your cause with all the knowledge at my disposal. This I swear to you.
I appreciate whatever help you can give us.
Some might think Corypheus a madman for seeking godhood. Yet one must ask, what were the old gods? What secrets of theirs did the ancient magisters know? What I fear, what all should fear, is not that Corypheus believes he can succeed. 'Tis that he actually may. I was pleased to learn you saved the Grey Wardens from their own self-destructive foolishness. For all their eagerness to shed blood for their cause, we will still need them should another blight arise. It's fortunate my warden was not there, or he would surely have been in the middle of it.
Your warden?
You might know him as the Hero of Ferelden. A lofty title, though he wears it well.
I didn't see you as the type to settle down, Morrigan.
'Tis not so domestic as you picture, but even so, it has far outstripped my expectations. My love is on a quest to combat the calling, the actual calling that signals the end of a warden's life. If he is successful, it will mean a long life for him, perhaps for them all. Once Corypheus has been defeated, I fully intend to join my love once more. Kieran misses him greatly.
It seems odd he went on an adventure and you stayed behind.
We are neither of us so weak we would die of loneliness. Where he went, Kieran could not follow, and thus I remained behind to look after our son. We will be together again soon enough, and I am glad of it.
How can the calling be stopped? Is that actually possible?
Grand Enchanter Fiona was once a Grey Warden, but something removed the blight from her blood. Similarly, a warden mage named Avernus performed experiments that prolonged his life to unnatural lengths. So, we know it is possible. Indeed, 'twas I who found the lead my love now follows in the Western lands. Success is not guaranteed, of course, but he has never lacked for determination.
Are the two of you happy together?
The three of us, and it is little business of yours. But yes, I never thought to find someone in this world I could trust as an equal. He has been a good partner, and a good father. And now I pray we discuss something else, lest these honeyed words make me vomit.
Is there any way the Hero of Ferelden could help us against Corypheus?
'Tis unlikely. Corypheus uses the blight, but he is not controlled by it like a true Darkspawn. Still, my love has ever been resourceful. I can give the Inquisition a means to send him a message. He will think this means I miss him, of course. Oh, he will be insufferably pleased with himself. I hope you appreciate this sacrifice, Inquisitor. I imagine your forces will be heading into the Arbor Wilds very soon, Inquisitor. Trust me when I say that wherever the Alluvian is hidden, it is worth any effort to prevent Corypheus from acquiring it.
I'd like to know more about you.
Ah, yes. Whence comes the mystery woman slinking her way into the Inquisition's ranks? Once I was an apostate, living well away from the banal influence of the Chantry in the Kukari Wilds. Then came the Fifth Blight with its Darkspawn, and I left Ferelden for the Empress's court. 'Tis certain the nobles of Orlais breathe a collective sigh of relief that I am now here.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight?
The Blight began in the Kukari Wilds, so yes, I experienced it firsthand. Indeed, I fought at the Hero of Ferelden's side for a time. He is the reason the Blight was defeated. We Became close. Closer than I even thought possible. When I left, he pursued me. And after that, I came to Orlais. The last place one would look for me, or such was my hope.
It's odd that an apostate could live so openly.
It confuses those who expect apostates to cower and hide. I stand boldly before them and demand to know why I need some chantry mage to teach me to control my power. They would put me on a leash so they can feel safer at night. I am uninterested in their comfort. Naturally, it helps to have friends in high places.
The Orlesian court seems like an odd place to find someone like you.
That was the point, originally. I knew the Empress was intrigued by the arcane, and that I could answer questions no chantry mage could. Thus, we fit together nicely. I became her advisor, and she my benefactor and source of refuge. Truth be told, our arrangement would not have lasted much longer. Too many wagging tongues, even for Celine.
Tell me more about your son.
He is a very special young man.
Special in what way?
In every way. At first, Kieran was a means to an end. But as he grew, I never thought of myself as a mother inquisitor. I had no good example to follow. I find myself becoming something I can barely recognize.
I'll leave you to the garden.
As you like. Greetings, Inquisitor.
You seem to know a great deal about elven law.
The Dalish are not the only ones interested in the distant past, Inquisitor. Indeed, my skills allow me access to places the Dalish dare not even dream of. The ancient elves hold secrets they have not yet given up. Secrets about the foundation of Thedas itself. Thus, they are my focus. Corypheus clearly feels the same.
Now that you've seen the Inquisition up close, what are your impressions?
'Tis remarkable what you have built. I will give you that. A web of favors has wrapped every noble family in southern Thedas around your fingers. All this in precious little time, conjured from thin air through the power of fervor alone. I wonder if Corypheus suspected what he was enabling, just as I wonder what will become of all this once he is defeated.
Whatever happens, the Inquisition will survive.
That alone is worthy of wonder. A new player on the stage, a figure of might and marvel. Beware the heights you reach, Inquisitor. When this is done, many will be eager to knock you back down.
I'd like to know more about you.
If you have questions, then ask.
I'll leave you to the garden.
Of course.
Inquisitor.
Any clues to his next move?
Some, but not enough for us to go on just yet. Let us begin. just as I remember it.
You didn't tell me you'd been here before.
After the Blight ended, I came here to see Justinia. She was just Dorothea then, a revered mother.
It's peaceful here. You must have good memories of this place.
It was a place of comfort. It is good to see it still untouched by Corypheus.
Liliana, is that you?
Sister Natalie, what are you doing here? I thought you were in Val Rayo.
No, I've been here since Justinia died. This place makes me feel like she's still with us.
Inquisitor, this is Natalie, a trusted friend.
Wait, Inquisitor? You brought the Inquisitor here? My lord, forgive me for not recognizing you earlier.
I wish more people would fail to recognize me.
Oh, I see.
Natalie, listen. There is something hidden here. Something Justinia left for me.
Oh, really? What is it?
I don't know, but we'll find it. I'm curious to see what brought us all here. Justinia's letter came with instructions for me. They were a little cryptic. Always remember that faith sprung from a barren branch, that light has no fear of darkness. Above all, that strength lives in an open heart.
She must be hinting at something in here. Let's look around.
You still sing verses from the benedictions every Friday? That canticle was Justinia's favorite.
Yes, of course. We'd never give up the traditions of our most beloved divine.
That is lovely to hear. I stare up at the breach sometimes. It's terrifying, but beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Have you seen it by sunrise?
When the sun rises through it, it splits into what looks like 1,000 suns.
Vying for position, and the sun bursts through. What was that? Looks like we opened something. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Good old Leliana was playing you the whole time. Didn't you realize?
They never sing the benedictions here on Fridays, Natalie. Something so simple. And you got it so wrong. I wanted to believe, but you were lying from the start. Keep that pretty mouth shut if you must, dear. You've already told me everything I need to know. The prickleweed burrs on your hem, talking about the sun rising through the breach. It all points to a single place. Morel in the Dales, Grand Cleric Victoire's bastion. She sent you, didn't she? Victoire was always an opportunist.
Who is this Grand Cleric? I've never heard of her.
An experienced cleric. She never agreed with Justinia, but kept her ideas to herself. I suppose now, with Justinia dead, she thought she could make her move.
I want to know what this Grand Cleric planned here.
She sent Natalie here to see what Justinia was hiding, no?
The Inquisition has turned Thedas away from the true Chantry. It must be stopped.
Stop us? You must be joking.
Mother Victoire is well loved by many. The Inquisition has more enemies than you know.
And Victoire thinks she can ally with them.
If we let her go, she'll just run off to her cleric, won't she?
Likely.
Kill me then. I am not afraid to die for my beliefs. At least I still know what I believe.
We don't have to kill her.
No. I must protect the Inquisition. She is an enemy.
I see what you've become. The righteous stand before the darkness, and the Maker shall guide them.
No! This can't be it. There's nothing here.
It's not what you expected. That doesn't mean it's nothing.
There's a message carved in the lid. The left hand should lay down her burden. She's releasing me. The divine has a long reach, but it is always her left hand that stretches out. 1,000 lies, 1,000 deaths. Her commands, but my conscience that bore the consequences.
She apologized in the Fade. She said she failed you. This is what she meant.
All this time, Justinia carried the fear that she was using me. Just like I'd been used in the past. But Marjolaine's games were trifles. Justinia gambled with the fate of nations. She needed me. No one else could have done what I did. She knows that.
Then you have to let it go. Let her go. You don't owe her anything anymore.
This? Now? After everything you've said and done? I hesitated with Butler, but you never did. You gave me confidence that killing him was the right answer. After Haven, we agreed that war requires sacrifices. Whatever it takes, you said. And my poor dear Natalie. I called her sister once, but I couldn't risk leaving her alive. Don't tell me to let it all go after all I've sacrificed to get here. Justinia tried to save me, but all it's done is made me realize I don't need saving. There is work to be done. I'll see you back at Skyhold.